It's a non-public.
Yeah, I
this
have
is
this.
the,
Yeah, I have this.
I actually did read that
I
yesterday.
read it too.
Thank you for,
I felt guilty.
He is here.
I am.
I thought you went to Florida.
I did.
Too.
Back already.
What was it, 24-hour trip? What?
4 days.
Oh, that's all I can handle. Florida, surprisingly elastic
That's
too.
about all you need.
I mean, I love the grandchildren and all, but 4 days is enough.
4 days.
That trip to the airport was a joyous occasion.
4 days is enough.
Oh,
It's like company. You're happy you see a
I'll
company.
do 90 miles an hour.
Mr. Spock, is there life forms on this planet?
Uh-oh, is it truth?
If you're a Trek fan.
Is the truth?
It doesn't look like a tricorder. A little.
I have one of that at home.
Do you really?
I have the
yes, I
next
do.
generation
Four.
tricorder.
I am the original series and Strange New Worlds, man.
And what?
Strange New Worlds. Love that.
Okay.
I like Next Generation, hated Discovery.
Strange New Worlds, and then here.
30.
You gotta add this to the list.
Youngest is 30.
No, he's an unknown life form. Come on, let's get this show rocking.
829.
829.
Karen Ryan's in the building.
The registrar.
Watch out, if you sit next to the king, you may become royalty yourself. Karen, do you have any space? We have a meeting room in your office?
Plan room is pretty small.
We just need to stick Chuck in
It
there
has
and lock
like
the door.
three of these tables in it.
3 of those?
Yes, in her room, yeah.
Well, I'll come in and look at it. That's-
Yeah, I mean, you could meet in the vault too. There's lots of space on some days, but some days there are people doing research, so.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
See, all you have to do is ask.
8:30.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the April 7, 2025 Carroll County Commissioner meeting.
And variety show.
Yeah, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Label.
Label. Call to order. I don't see any media people here, do we, Melissa?
no one's on the Zoom.
No one
I don't
likes
see
it.
anybody here, so we will go to public comment.
Fred came from Wolfboro. Feel that question coming.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful introduction. My mother couldn't have done better, Mr. Parker. I was, a couple of things. Did we get an official resignation letter from Terry McCarthy?
I think we got an email, didn't
Just an email.
Okay, so it wasn't an April Fool's joke. I just want to make sure that's clear. You know, where it was official April
we? You're the
1st.
type of guy that goes to a funeral and makes sure someone's dead, aren't you?
You know, so, but also, I look at the agenda here today, and I do see under number 8, there's a request to connect to the county water system, 30 Old Route 28. Does the county have fees that they charge to tie into the water system?
That's a perfect question for the chairman. Does the county have fees that they charge for water?
And the chairman doesn't know the answer to that.
Okay.
That's the vice chairman.
I'm sure our DPW
Well, I mean,
director.
I think that's something they ought to discuss and figure out. I know that in the town of Wolfboro, there's a fee for it, and the town hall wasn't open this morning to call and ask, but I did contact one of my plumbers, and he told me he thought it was a $6,000 fee.
Yeah, the new construction. That's about right. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, I just think we need to be competitive. I know that, you know, the fees we charge for the water are usually minimum, so I, you know, think this should be something, if we do move forward and the commission does agree to, you know, somebody to tie into the system, we should do that. But at this time, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Fred. We will get you an answer on that.
Thank you.
You feeling okay today, Fred?
Excuse me?
You feeling okay today?
I'm feeling okay.
That's all you got? Okay.
We got another session at the end.
Yeah, my name is Kevin Rule.
Morning, Kevin.
Good morning. I was just reading the released non-public minutes that were released to the public. A lot, it seems like a disproportionate number of them could have been in public anyway.
Our lawyer said the exact same thing.
That's correct.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I found one though that was kind of funny with the HR director, Miss Machete. Linda, is it Linda? The HR director here. She had made reference to berating, but actually I'm just being real. It ain't berating, it's being real. I guess for the newcomers, the new kids on the block, I was singled out and told there was no hay to buy. I wouldn't even be here if I had hay, but I wasn't really berating. I'm just reciting the facts as they'd occurred. That I was disallowed to buy hay. That's not berating anybody. It's just the facts. It sounds unbelievable until I FOIA requested the text messages, and then they were all right there in black and white. But no, while I'm on the camera, though, I do have to mention Representative Woodcock when he made reference that the DPW runs the whole facility, when in fact that's not true. It's actually this gentleman over here, Bob Murray, that runs the whole show, the whole three-ring circus. He runs it all with his staff, and he always credits his staff. He never takes any credit for it himself. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.
Anybody else? It doesn't appear there is any more public comments, so we will move on to approvals. We do not have any for Hills locations. So we will move on to approvals of the meeting minutes from March 31st.
I have read these minutes, I've been impressed by their conciseness, and I move we approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. I'll do the non-public minutes for release, because if I remember right, I have to list off each date. Thank you so much. All right, I move to release non-public minutes, or I should say non-public minutes for release. And bear with me, I'm gonna have to go through 4 different years here.
Quite a few of them.
All right, year 2022, March 3rd, March 17th, March 24th, April 14th, April 21st, April 28th, May 12th, June 9th, August 11th. Year 2023, February 2nd, March 10th, March 16th, April 19th, May 11th, June 29th, July 13th, July 20th, August 3rd, August 10th, August 17th, August 24th, August 31st, September 14th, October 5th, October 12th, October 18th, October 26th, November 30th. A lot of secrets kept around that year. Year 2024, January 11th, February 22nd, February 29th, April 11th, April 18th, May 23rd, June 6th, August 5th, November 7th. And the year 2020, April 29th, May 13th, May 20th, June 3rd, June 10th, June 24th, July 22nd, August 5th, August 19th. And Madam Clerk, or I should say Madam Executive Coordinator, any non-public meetings that we don't have minutes to, wherever we put these on the website, I would like those listed too for the members who attended those meetings.
I'll do
Please.
my best.
Thank you. That's my motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. How much more do we have on non-publics? Quite a few, okay.
Yeah.
Where's the year 2021? Did we release those already?
We released some last time.
Okay, that was
Only
last-
From
okay.
21.
I think it's a matter of when we get around, where we.
Yeah, where we are. Okay, next, manifests. Accounts payable for April 4th, 2025, $286,693.84, and the payroll was $312,399.68. Motion to approve?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, the mystery of the day, additional refrigerators.
Official refrigerators.
Last week wasn't good enough, now we have more.
We made it too easy for you.
Did Barron's have an extra special sale?
Is it a 2-for-1?
Is it
Good morning. Well, good morning.
Or are we gonna start cutting ice and putting them in boxes?
So I budgeted $1,800 for the resident refrigerators that we are replacing over there.
Yeah.
We're getting them for $1,100, and I had mentioned that I wanted to buy 2 more next year. I think it's just a good idea to take the savings and buy those 2 ones that I want to buy next year,
Before the tariffs?
this year.
Yes, I would probably agree with that.
So I have it in the budget. I'm still going to have money from the refrigerators left over, so I'd just like to do it this year.
Given what's happening in the world, I would say that's probably a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
So with your permission,
You have a
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Go forth and spend money.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm gonna
Pre-term, go forth and spend
slide
pre-term.
over. I don't wanna come up without being called, you know.
Come on down.
Administrator, right up.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. Just want to talk briefly about the RFP for the laundry construction. I believe that's in your packet.
It was.
Bob and I worked with EGA about putting this together. It is for the construction of about 1,400 square foot slab on grade laundry area
Right there.
right, literally, right as you look out by the fence. So, we have some project schedule dates in there, which are a little aggressive, because when we looked at the planning board meetings, we're probably gonna have to get pushed back a little bit, because they usually ask for a 30-day review.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to be in front of the planning board sometime in May. Their last meeting in May is May 20th. So hopefully we can get everything together. So what we're asking the companies to do is come with an all-in price, except for some soft costs, you know, FF&E and things like that. We also we'll have to contract with the civil engineer separately, so, but before that, we'll know exactly how much everything's gonna cost, and the civil will help us get in front of the planning board and to discuss our project. So this RFP was all part of the cost for EGA to put together, plus all their other drawings and things like that, so.
Yeah, I was looking at the date, the anticipated service, or the dates are, pretty tight. You probably won't make those, May 23rd.
No, those were kind of like just a filler to get.
Yeah, just to get us somewhere,
Yep.
get us going. Yeah, I read this, this looks good, pretty comprehensive.
My one request is, can we dedicate it to Charles McGee after it's built? Like
No.
I've done Charles McGee
No.
Memorial.
Memorial?
I'm thinking no.
I'm thinking yes.
Any questions, Commissioner Parker?
No, I'm glad to see you sort of
Moving
sprung
forward?
up, moving
Yes.
forward.
Good job, getting it done quickly.
Anything that brings around the death knell of this building faster, I'm happy.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor? All in favor?
I said yay.
Thank you.
Aye.
And I have one last thing.
Oh, God.
Very quickly. We had to replace the control panel on the fire panel at the nursing home.
Yes.
And we got a $7,000 bill for it.
Was it worth it?
Well, yeah, because think of how many lives it could save. So anyways, I got a $7,000 bill for it. I can take it out of my maintenance budget, but a $7,000 hit is a pretty good hit. I was wondering if the commissioners thought it would be a good idea to take it out of the contingency line rather than my maintenance budget.
Do I have a week to think about that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll do it next week.
If we took it out of the maintenance plan, how much would you have left?
Yes, that's the question.
Oh, well, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but you know, I'd still have money left, but it's early in the year to take a $7,000.
How much is in the contingency?
What, 150? 150,000?
He's
Or-
right. It's early in the year to start taking stuff out of maintenance.
Maintenance.
Or say no and we wait till the end of the year and see what happens.
Yes, Melissa.
So there's 150,000 in there. The delegation approved adding an additional 100,000 this year. So that, by the end of the year.
And this would
250.
this would be eligible for that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
motion approved.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
The next step is it
Thank
has to
you.
be approved by the executive committee of the delegation to take it out of the capital reserve.
Well, if they deny senior citizens their safety, that's their,
Yes,
Coolness,
this
not
this
ours.
is not an optional.
Well,
this is
Commissioner,
not a-
Representative Avalani, Chairman Avalani, made it quite clear that he wanted us to start using that line for things such as this. So this is my first request.
I'm glad
There we
you
are.
said that.
Okay.
Thanks you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So when does the that's not for you, Bob, so when do we talk to the executive committee to approve this?
They don't have a meeting scheduled yet. I can just let them know that there's things that they need to consider, so try to set a meeting with them. So in the meantime, we should just pay it probably out of the maintenance line, and then we can transfer,
Okay, that would be
do an
great.
entry if they
Yes.
approve it, so. Can I ask a question though? They also requested that you take the money for the elevators out of that capital reserve.
Yes.
Do you know when we might have a clear number? You have a quote now?
I have a quote,
Okay,
and I sent them an email to schedule the work.
okay,
I haven't heard back yet.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Superintendent King,
All hail the king.
department head report.
Morning. All right. I wrote big, so it's not really 2 pages. All right, so seeing this is my first official one, I made up a list of stuff. If you have further questions or you want this done differently in the future, let me know. But I thought I'd start off with our population report, which you both should still be getting via email, I hope.
I see it, do you get it?
I don't think I get it.
All right, we'll square that away.
I'll check.
I do get it. Thank you.
You do get it. All right,
It's on
good.
the other phone,
County.
which is sitting on your desk, by the way, that I'm giving you back.
All right, so anyway, currently today we're at 56, which is up from the low 40s. Friday we're actually up to 60. So we're improving there. We've got 10 Rockingham, 1 Women's State Prison, and 5 Stratford at the moment, roughly $1,000 per day in boarders revenue. Stratford's still working through their issues with their IT, so once they're able to get through that, they are going to send us some more, up to 5 or 6 sentenced inmates. So, because they just were asked to clear 100 beds for federal inmates, so we're going to reap the benefits of that. On that line, I did reach out to, I met with the U.S. Marshal and his staff. Good question.
Thank you.
I can't remember his name,
I
Bill
can't either.
something. Very nice guy. But anyway, so I currently have a marshal's contract, which I now understand more clearly. It was from 2015. Apparently, it's gone dormant, so to speak. It's not null and void. It just goes into a dormant stage if nobody, if they don't hold anybody with us for a number of years, because there's supposed to be inspections done by the feds to make sure that we're meeting the Fed requirements for housing their inmates. That does not prevent us from holding marshals people at this point. Apparently, if they wanted to send us somebody, because we have that contract, we can take them and they'll pay us. However, if they feel as though things have significantly changed since their last inspection, they would send somebody to do an inspection even though we're already holding. Currently, we're not holding anybody. But that does not prohibit us from holding. So I guess it's a as-needed basis. So the way the ICE situation comes into that is I was incorrect in my assumptions, but it's up to ICE now to approach the marshals to do a rider on that contract. Because if we did a specific ICE contract, it would open us up to hundreds of, what's the word I'm looking for, but things that we need to do. And it's a lengthy, yes, requirements, hundreds of requirements. So if ICE wants to hold people with us, if it's a need for them, they will approach the marshals, and all that'll get worked out between them two, and then they would send us people.
So the marshals know we want to be active again.
Yes,
Yeah.
and ICE does as well. I have emailed and called the individual that the marshals gave me. I have not heard back. I assume at this point they are up to their ears with Stratford, and Rockingham is trying to do long-term holds, 100-plus beds, so I assume that's their priority at this point. So it's out there. If they want to do it, they'll approach me. I'll wait a few more weeks and send them another email, but I think they're not in need of us at this point. But anyway, so that's sort of an ongoing situation. Rock contract will be approved. I thought I'd have it already for you. They're signing their contract. It was supposed to be last week. I don't know what happened, but once I have their signatures, the county signatures, I'll bring it to you guys to sign for July 1st. That's when their budget goes into place, so that'll increase us a couple bucks up to $60 a day. There was some concern that their new community correction center may cut down on some of our intakes from them. Doesn't appear that's going to be the case, because typically the people that we get are not people that are eligible for that program either way. So the superintendent down there has told me that it shouldn't affect us much. We're also looking into, and it's in its infancy stages, but right now we're unable to take people that are on methadone. We do provide Medicaid-assisted treatment with Suboxone, or Subutex, same thing, but generic version. Currently, if people are on methadone, we either have to ship them to Rock to take care of it, because they're their own pharmacy through the FDA. Because they're a prime care facility like us, where there's in some works with their legal team, Prime Care's legal, to basically have Rock be the pharmacy and give them what they call take-homes, so it's 7 days dosage, which they're able to get from local clinics if they're eligible. But Rock would have the ability to turn people into take-home, send us up the 7 days, and we would distribute it like we do everything else. That wouldn't require any special pharmacies or approvals. It would just be just like giving them their daily medications. So that's in the works. So if that happens, that would increase who we could take as well. Because right now that limits us to them having to stay at Rock, because that's where their medication is provided. We don't take them now because we physically have to drive them to whichever clinic that they're signed up with, Franklin or Concord. So that's why, obviously, it's a big burden on our staff every day to go get with the inmate to have them dosed and bring them back. So that's in the works. So that would benefit us if it works out. We're going back to staff awards this year. We have 4 awards that we give out. It hasn't been done since 2019. It's a Rookie of the Year, Officer of the Year, Employee of the Year, and Supervisor of the Year. It's typically, we're going to start doing it in Corrections Week, which is the first week in May. We've ordered some awards for them, something that's different this time, and we're going to put their name up on the plaques. So hopefully that helps with our morale and people wanting to do their best for us. We are continuing to empower our staff. The leadership course that I'm attending, it's almost done, 2 more weeks. It's a 12-week course through the National Association of Counties. Took a lot of ideas from that. Starting to empower our staff. We're still working through accountability. When we had our department meeting, when I first took over for the full department, which was the first one we ever had with the entire staff, they all wanted accountability, so I'm giving it to them. As you might imagine, there'd be some bumps along the road. They all want accountability till it shows up on their front door. So we're working through that still, but we're making headway. Contract negotiations, It's gonna show up here, hopefully end of May, early June for the contract for next year, April 1st, 2026. So I'm hoping to start those off soon, because they're painstakingly slow the way the process goes, in hopes to get all the numbers, in by October, September, October, in preparation for the next budget. I know in the past that the board has said about increasing salaries. We're in for that, just like the sheriff's office was, so we're probably gonna be battling that as well. We're doing pretty good. We're within a couple dollars of starting salaries of the other counties at the moment. There are 2 contracts that I'm aware of that are pending for other counties, so I'm imagining it's probably gonna be in that $3 to $4 an hour base rate change. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we found in the actual operations of the contracts besides salary that we're gonna work on, just to clear things up from the gray area and some of the stuff, make it easier for both sides to work through the issues. We're taking another trust inmate from state prison for men. We've taken 6 or 7. Again, I've been told cool my heels on the contract at least until July 1st, till the state budget goes through. I'm still trying to establish contracts for when they send us those guys specific to complete our 90-day substance abuse program. So hopefully after July 1st, if there's some money in the state budget, that they'll start paying us to take those guys. As far as the building goes, the DPW is helping us currently with, we had some Constantine wire fall off, hang down off the top of one of our concrete security walls. Appears as though, and Will was able to get up there and look, but some rusted brackets and whatnot. So it just gets attached to the top of the concrete and it's hanging down by the wire at the moment. So he's helping us with that. He also helped us fix an outdoor speaker, that announcement speaker that was taken down by some ice and snow at some point as well. So he got that back up for us. So what else we got here? Academy, we got 2 guys in the academy now. They get through, this is the start of week 3, it's a 5-week academy. Then there's 2 more academies in the fall, August, September timeframe. If we keep our current staffing, we will be a 100% certified staff by October, which, as far as I'm aware, we've never been full staff and fully certified at the same time. So hoping that we can accomplish that, that'd be huge. I'm not sure any other jail in the state could say that at this point. And then White Horse situation came up to me. I forwarded, I don't know if you guys got it, or had a chance to look at it. I'm sure you got it. I got some emails on Friday from delegation members. I'm not really, I'm going to reach out to White Horse today and find out what the story is. They're questioning whether or not, as you guys all know from the delegation hearings, whether or not they should be billing services. We'd have to contract with them. Billing the county is not a thing for.
We don't have it in the budget right this minute.
No, we don't. So, and that's what I responded to them and said, I don't have money to do that in this current budget. Next year, maybe. It's 1 class that's being taught inside, and then of course the transportation issue, which has all been out there. So I'm going to at least contact White Horse today and say, look, do you have any intention on cutting our services? If you do, I'm sorry. We're losing an asset, but at least we'll know. Because there seems to be pressure from the delegation to do that. So anyway. And lastly, and I just wrote it as I was sitting here, you guys are talking about the budget. I have a shortage in legal fees at the moment because I only do $2,000 a year in my budget. Apparently there's been no legal issues in the past, but as you know, we have a couple pending issues, so I'll probably need some transfer from Executive Coordinator Stevens suggested that there are should be some money within the Commissioner's budget to help offset that at some point.
Maybe.
So
Do we have a number on that yet?
I'm over by $900 at the moment.
So since you become supervisor, our legal fees have gone up?
Yes. Yes, they have.
Joking.
At the moment.
And we have a couple pending hearings out there, so.
What the hell's going on?
I know.
All right, great, thanks.
And that's it.
Super.
Thank you. All right. Rise the king's here.
Director Murray leave, he did.
He did leave.
It's good to hear that.
He did leave. Executive Coordinator Report. Coordinator Seniors.
Just lumped it all into one thing instead of
I
trying to
have questions.
have a 2-page agenda. Yep. Yes.
How did you come up with the committee members?
Committee members for the
Proposed,
disaster
yeah.
plan and the CIP. I just reached out to the departments and asked who they would like to put on there. And they all readily just jumped in and volunteered, which was great.
Oh, no, I'm not doubting the volunteerism, I'm just questioning.
I'm suggesting we could also either expand it with people, perhaps outside of the county at times, but I don't think that, I don't know, what are you thinking?
Capital improvement is fine.
Mhm.
Emergency management, I think, needs to be reworked. There are people on here that shouldn't be on here, and there's people outside this that should be on, need to be on here.
So we should probably talk about that one next week, and we'll work, you and I can discuss
Yeah.
what you're thinking. Does that work, Mr. Chairman?
I mean,
Fine.
Okay.
I can, probably just a regional fire, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
I
things
mean-
that need to be on there.
I can give you some more insight what I was thinking of bringing
Okay.
in other agencies.
But I'm ready to do capital improvement today if anybody wants to.
Okay.
I'll accept a motion to approve the Capital Improvements Plan Committee members.
So moved.
And they would be, by the way, Will DeWitt, Brian King from Corrections, Rich LeBeau from MVC, Bob Murray for Facilities, Dominic Ricciardi, Sheriff, Karen Rhines, Register of Deeds, Michelle Rogers, Finance, and Melissa Siemens, our Finance, our Executive Coordinator.
My only concern about emergency management, in case you're wondering, with that sitting there, we need to reach outside the campus complex just to, it's going to be a bigger response if something happens here, so we just need to restructure it a little bit. But I appreciate the effort put in by the executive coordinator.
So, motion to approve the Capital Improvements Plan Committee.
I just gave you one.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, great, thank you. We get to work.
Remember, number one capital improvement, get rid of this building.
Request to connect to water system. Is that an individual or is that? Is the
I think it's a shop.
For the,
So we have a request from a business to
Oh.
connect for a half bathroom. Apparently the water that they're drawing from their well right now is
Bright orange.
bright orange. So they're asking if they can hook on to the water. I know there was some hesitation about adding additional residential units, but it seemed within the realm to add a half bathroom, but your DPW director's here if he wanted to answer any questions.
yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit about
He's
this.
over there.
The man's got orange water, show him some mercy.
Right.
Not just orange, bright orange, like Gatorade.
Yeah, he called last week, talked to me first, and I had told him to get a hold of Melissa. The past practice has always been that the commissioners would approve whether a place comes on or is allowed to come on or not. There was a question this morning about a fee. As far as I know, 99% sure that we've never had a fee to connect. And that's also due to the fact that we don't do the connections. We provide a couple of pieces of equipment, but it's at their cost to hire a plumber to come in and do it. And then before I turn the water on for them, I go inspect it to make sure that it's all hooked up to our standards. So that's why we've never really had a fee. Due to the water studies we had a couple years ago and the amount of water usage we have, personally, I wouldn't recommend that we probably allow any large water usage on the line, like homes. This individual, it's a couple of employees and it's a building that would never be anything from what he described to me other than an office building. I don't think that, personally, I would have any objections to that as far as, I'd be pretty neutral on a recommendation that I don't think it's would hurt us for that a little bit amount. But that, ultimately, that's up to you guys. And then, you know, the other question would be is, I guess the only other thing I could think of is if we say, okay, this office building's okay, but then next thing you know, we get another office building that's bigger. I mean, I don't foresee that happening, but, and then we're like, well, geez, you're using a lot more water, so like, where's the standard, I guess, is what I would be asking on that, because it's kind of been gray in the past of mostly just on the commissioners. But like I said, this particular one, I don't, you know, he's not asking for a lot. We're already, matter of fact, not to get off subject with that, but I just checked my emails, I got a copy for you as well.
Yeah, I have this for them.
Is this
Okay.
the water,
They
is
have
this
it.
the water line we're replacing?
Yes, it's right down on the same line. And the little time schedule that came in, didn't know if Melissa had gotten it or not, but they're looking to be starting mobilization tomorrow according to this schedule. They were down doing some directional drilling last week, and they did have to use a hydrant, which stirred up a little bit of sediment for some of the folks down there. And then Melissa had sent a letter out, or was working on sending a letter out to the customers that we looked at, just to give them a heads up that, you know, all this is going to be happening, and they may have a little bit of sediment in their water at times, if the hydrants are being used for construction.
Yeah, you have a copy of that letter in your binder too? Yep. That was going out today.
Are there any houses or businesses on that line now that are not connected to, that the line runs by, that aren't connected to the line?
I think this is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. There may be like a couple of empty lots that aren't on. Like I'm thinking where the ballpark is there's a ballpark, and the fire department has talked about putting a new fire station back behind the ballpark at some point in the future if they got the approval. That's an open lot that I can think of.
What would be our concern? We don't have enough water, or we just not enough, not with the new line, there'd probably be enough pressure, right?
Yes, the concern would be on the supply side of what our wells are capable of pumping. The infrastructure from the top down that's not the question, it's just how much water can we get out of our wells, and we're kind of already, for our typical demand and our production out of our wells is pretty maxed out. We get a little bit of a buffer because we have a large water tank up there. That gives us a little bit of buffering, but I wouldn't want to add on too much or hardly anything, you know, of significance based off of those studies that came in from that water study.
So what's been the determining factor for the commissioners up to this point? Because I haven't encountered this yet, not since I've been on in
Right.
18
I
months.
think we've only had one in 5 years, the little
Yeah, I've had
train station there.
the train station I think in 17 years I've had 3. This would be the 4th. So it's not a common, request. In the past, the commissioners, we went with it, but a lot of the questions always came up, and that's what kicked off the water study was, do we have the capabilities of adding them on? There was, one of the leading questions was Whitehorse was looking at buying a building, an office building in town. And there was a big to-do about that a few years ago, and having residents living there and whatnot for their treatments was going to be a large water demand, and that really spurred the water study. But that didn't happen, and I believe those got turned into rentals down there. So we didn't have a significant increase in demand, but I don't know if that answers your question or not, but like I said, it hasn't been a common thing.
Let's take another week to look at this. I mean, if he has bad water there, that's obviously an issue.
Right.
But then the other issue is how much capacity. I mean, you could probably handle this, but then if you set the precedent, where do you go? That's the problem.
Right.
And, yeah, let's take another week to think about this.
Question on,
Yes.
which I think is fine because we don't have to let them on or off, but while they're down there, it might be a good idea that we have them drop in
Yes,
the curb stop
definitely.
while they're there. Doesn't mean
Absolutely, yeah.
doesn't mean we have to turn it on, but at least have it there.
For sure.
Okay. I'll make sure that
I'm gonna
that's,
let them know.
I mean,
Yeah.
are they gonna do curb stops for any place else that doesn't have buildings or anything at this point?
I don't think so.
No?
Unless there's, unless there's currently one there, then they would be replacing it. But I don't know that there's too many open lots down
okay.
that section. There is in other places, but that section's pretty full.
I just don't want to see them rip up the road again after they pave it.
Right,
That would be the concern.
right.
That would be, because I think, well, it's on, the new line is on the opposite side of
The current line.
the current line.
Correct, yep.
Okay, we'll revisit it next week. Okay.
Thanks, Paul. What was the agenda in front of me?
It's the equitable sharing agreement.
Ah. So this is an annual report to certify that there's money in an account. Excuse me. The sheriff is asking for you to give him the authority to sign. These funds are a result of money seized by the former Carroll County Drug Task Force, and they can only be used for a law enforcement activity. Currently, there's $1,539.94 in the account.
Did you say former drug task force?
The former, yes, Carroll County doesn't have its own drug task force anymore.
Interesting.
So every year he has to, and, I don't know if did I give you this? Yeah, I gave you a copy of it.
No.
Okay.
So what does he do with this money?
Oh, so I think the last use of it was to help pay for the K-9, the new K-9.
We don't know what he's using this for.
It's just gonna sit there until he has a qualifying use for it, the
Okay.
funds, yeah.
Any questions, Commissioner Parker?
Give the man.
Motion to approve $1,539.94 in the equitable sharing agreement and certification, and allow the sheriff to sign.
Yep.
So moved. Second, all in favor?
Thank you.
ARPA supplemental budget requests.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have 3 documents for that. You have a letter to the delegation requesting that they, requesting a supplemental budget allocation in the amount of $5,379,222. The allocation is necessary to give the county commissioners the authority to expend funds under RSA 2415 to fund general government services, including projects we are contractually obligated to pay for. According to the auditing firm, the county has an unassigned fund balance of $18,466,000, which is 44% of the 2025 budget. DR recommends a fund balance of 5 to 15%. There was some disagreement at the last delegation meeting
Yes.
as to the mechanics of appropriating the formerly ARPA funds. The auditor said that these are no longer ARPA funds, they're part of the general fund, and the chairman, as you know, disagreed. So reached out to Department of Revenue, the attorney, and this is where we are, that we should request a supplemental budget.
Per the DRA
Yeah, and the auditor.
and the auditor.
Yep.
It should, we originally had it under capital, correct? Or is that when the delegation approved it? How did they approve it?
They approved it off budget.
Okay.
So they finalized the 2025 budget, and then they went and approved money out of this fund over here.
What with the DRA
Well,
saying?
actually, I'm misspeaking, because you have to be careful, the difference between appropriation and expenditures. They approved an expenditure out of a fund over here, they didn't make an appropriation.
I got it. Okay, that's the only reason I asked. I know what it is.
So I made this pretty chart,
Yes.
flowy
That is
chart.
nice graphics, by the way. Yes.
Sometimes pictures are helpful.
We expect more of those, by the way.
And then the list of items that make up the $5.3 million.
So we're doing everything that the auditor and DRA is asking us to do on our side.
Correct.
Correct. Does the delegation understand this?
Apparently, we have a difference of opinion right now, but the RSA says to trigger this process, the commissioners write to the delegation to request a supplemental, so.
All right, I'd rather be on the side of the DRA and the auditor, so
That would be my opinion also.
Do it by their book
I agree.
versus the freewheeling style delegation. Do you need a motion?
Yep.
Motion to approve?
Yes.
Second?
All
All
in
in favor? Aye.
And once I get the letter corrected with your middle initial,
I appreciate
have you guys
that.
sign that before you leave? maybe?
Yes.
Okay, great,
And I
thank you.
don't spend any more coffee on the paper,
Okay.
which I sure got caught on.
Weekly financial statement.
And what else is in the,
Activity, County of Carroll.
so the staff accountant is now on a weekly basis
Right.
preparing the budget versus actual for you
Mm-hmm.
for expenses and revenue, just
And this has never been done before,
so
that we know of.
typically we'd wait till the month
Month
was all
end.
closed up tidy, so obviously you would know that those are not final
No.
numbers, but at least you have,
It's a
you
guideline.
can
to
see
keep
where
us-
we are.
No, I like it, because you
It's a
see
guideline
trends where
to
you're
keep
going.
us, yes, exactly, to see what we had in the interest of
Full disclosure.
trying to stay on budget.
stay on top of things, right?
Thank you.
What else do I have in there? The letter that's going out to the water customers is in that section.
I don't see that.
Right after the numbers.
Yeah, it should be right after the budget.
Yeah, notice the Carroll County West, yep.
Oh, we did have that.
And the timeline for the project.
Yep.
Oh. And then I had a request to work on RFPs. I don't know if you want to talk about those today.
Which ones?
For the DPW activities. I've done the snow plowing,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
landscaping.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go with that, or
Let's go with landscaping.
what your thoughts are for,
Well, our thoughts are to see if it makes sense to do it. I mean, and the only way to do
Well,
that.
isn't the argument outside versus inside?
Yes, and the only way to do that is to get some idea of what we're paying versus what it would cost us to outsource it. And the only way to do that is to put on an RFP and get quotes.
and I did put it as a RFQ, request for quotes, is what it said. at the
Oh, yeah, it's
top,
RFQ,
so,
right.
I already read it.
92,
There's snow plowing, landscaping, water system management, and wastewater system
wastewater system.
management.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Motion to approve?
Sure.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor?
All right. Fine.
So I'll
Make me say it.
work with the
Yes.
DPW director to correct all the highlighted
Yeah.
parts, the questions, and
Yeah.
we'll just,
Get that
Well,
going.
we're gonna have to know the answer sooner or later because of next budgetary season, so.
and I know in the past he had, Director DeWitt had gotten
Quotes,
quotes on
right.
some of the services, so they probably play out the same, but. The last thing I had was a request from the finance office, Karen in the office. She manages the business card, credit card. She's asking to increase the credit card limit, the overall credit card limit to 75,000 and specifically IT's limit to 50,000. And you can see the breakdown there.
Why?
I think you have one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it in here?
I think it's in the last part, the last page of 8.
Let's see.
This dude is remodeling a weir.
I don't use the business cards, but I do know that we've run into some issues, because right now IT's limit is 15,000. It doesn't take long to spend 15,000 in IT equipment, and I know we ran into an issue last year when they couldn't get equipment for the new project that they needed to do. They can buy it all by the end of the year. I think it's some of the funding lapsed because they didn't have the limit to do it, or there's this dance that Karen has to go through.
You gave Karen Rhines a credit card?
Please don't single people out.
Sorry.
Don't we have a rule against that?
It's public funds, I gotta find out sooner or later.
Okay, fair. This is a public document, yes, it is.
Yes, it is. I didn't realize the sheriffs, all these people had credit.
Yeah, that kinda surprised me too.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm having trouble hearing people. Your voices are trailing off into
Sorry.
conversation mode
Okay, we'll
instead of
try and
meeting
talk,
mode.
I'm
louder.
the worst, sorry. Ed.
Yes,
I approve a motion that we give megaphones for speaking at this table.
right.
We have a microphone over there.
Let's talk about this a little while. I want to look at this again.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not
Thank you,
comfortable
and
with
I,
this.
sorry, my explanation is a little clunky. You probably should
Yeah.
just speak directly with
Yeah.
Karen in the office,
Yeah.
the finance.
That would be the move, yeah. Table that till next week.
I also would like, as part of this, if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman, why so many of the sheriff's departments on here.
I would like to know that myself.
Yes.
There's probably a reason.
Yep.
I don't
There's
doubt it.
probably a reason, but
Okay.
since we're both new, relatively new,
Right?
and I haven't seen this before, so,
And we're just deeply suspicious individuals.
well, we're doing our due diligence.
Caution, you're cautious. And then I have minutes that you approved, if you could sign those. And I'm good. Thank you.
I can't wait to see this wheelchair washer that we're paying $16,000.
Okay. We'll make an appointment, you can see
You
it.
can maybe even see it in action.
I think he said you could help, but have they wash it in the evening?
Yeah. Volunteer. Make it a Boy Scout, Girl Scout project.
Okay.
They should make one big enough for a car, they could make extra money on the side. Little side hustle.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Parker, other business?
Actually, I think I took care of it during the minutes.
Then I guess that means we have none. Commissioner reports? I have none.
I got them. Just happy to be here, Mr. Chairman.
Then I guess we will go into non-public session.
Oh, you can figure that one out.
We will go into non-public session for our New Hampshire RSA 91-A:32. We will go under A, dismissal, promotion, and compensation, B, public employee hiring, and C, reputation of any person other than a member of this board or supervision thereof.
So you can say what you want about me and I'm not protected.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Roll call.
Oh, okay. Move. Yes.
Commissioner Parker?
Yes.
Commissioner McGee, yes.
It's your job to do the roll call.
Well, it's actually the clerk's job.
We don't have a
But since
clerk.
we don't have one.
And I'm not acting.
9:20.
What?
I said 9:20.
That's what it is.
He's correct.
And you don't need microphones. You need to use your meeting voice.
You need a bullhorn. I need a bullhorn?
Just speak up, that's all.
Speak from your core.
Hi, Ed!
Say it like,
wheelchair washer is just a garden hose with a sprayer on it.
can we wheel the wheelchair with you on it, Commissioner Parker, into the machine and I can videotape you being washed?
As long as you put a disclaimer on that I already took a shower for the day and I did not need this wash.
Does it come with its
Oh,
own
we're
pole
descending
barn?
into, we're descending into,
Silly.
yeah,
Do we have to wait for our HR director to show up?
I believe we do.
Ah, good. Coffee time.
About of,
Just a minute, please.
oops, not yet,
Mr. Commissioner.
not yet.
He has had his professional camera turn.
10:10.
10:10, we will now come out of non-public and
So moved. We come
seal
out.
the minutes.
Dad, you make the motion.
Make the motion, not, non-public and seal the minutes. Under, and
So moved.
for,
Yes, there you go.
for,
Can I interrupt for a second?
yes,
I didn't have a chance to talk to you in there about what's sealed and what's not sealed, but our attorney is advising you to be careful that you're not sealing more than you need to.
okay.
They are gonna write us a letter about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what should we?
So hirings, salaries, it's all public information.
Okay, so we won't
And I
seal
think
session
that's-
A. So we won't seal session A.
So A, B, you don't need to seal.
Do we do C?
I wasn't there for the
Yes.
last part of
Yes.
it, so I'm not sure. All right, so if you could just seal C, I guess, and A and B, we don't have to seal.
We have to seal C.
This is why I leave these to you.
Yes, we had conversations
Okay.
about specific
Okay.
employees.
Yes, we
All
did.
right, we'll come out of non-public, we will not seal A and B, and we will seal C.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that is whatever.
We definitely need a rush on the new minutes, what we're doing. Thank you.
And now we have one more item of business, which is the
Yes,
job description
for the finance director.
for the finance director.
I met with the executive coordinator and the staff accountant, and we comprised a finance director position, part-time, 24 hours a week, that we would like your approval on so that we can begin recruiting.
Since I've already read it, you have my approval.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. I will-
I read it in really small text on my phone, but I read it.
I have my iPad. Melissa?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Public comment?
Rick came from Wolfboro.
Yes, Rick Kane from Wolfboro. I'm glad you guys go into the non-publics because it lets us talk out here and hash out.
That may not be good.
You know, so, but the water hookups, we definitely need a policy on hookups and fees going forward, and whether the system is a municipal system, which I believe it is, because we have a director that's certified in the water, and we're selling the water, so I think we need to know that. And also, in my town, Wolfboro, the fee to tie into the water system or the sewer system is a fee, and they have to pay that flat fee, and they have their own contractor they pay to tie in and supply that to them. So that's an additional cost. I know that the director here said that they supply the stuff, and that's why they never had charged for it, but they've always had their, contractor do it. And lastly, you're talking about credit cards, and is there a policy on the credit cards on the amount of money that each employee that had that credit card were able to spend without coming to?
I don't know about the policy, but on the list we had, each person had an amount next to their name. Some higher, some lower, but it's a good question about the policy itself.
Yeah, maybe that needs to be looked at.
Melissa can probably answer that. Or not.
Or maybe not
Yeah.
today.
Or not.
We were kind of discussing it.
I seem
It's
to
a setup
remember,
question.
remember reading it somewhere. In the policy manual, I don't have it with me.
I'm looking
You read the
right
policy
now.
manual? I read the policy manual. The policy manual was pretty big.
I know, I got one in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if any of them were over the $10,000 figure, we assume they'd still have to come to the commissioners to get approval on that.
I don't think it's anywhere near that high.
Well, I know they said that IT maybe spent $15,000. That figure was brought up, so that's what made me think it was maybe over that on something.
We have a credit card policy. It was revised in February of 2024, and it's on the website with the policy manual on the website.
Right, that's what I thought. I remember doing that not long ago. Okay, great.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kevin, I just have a point of correction. I don't know, maybe it's a typo, but in last week's minutes, it says Ms. Ryan is the register. I believe she's the registrar, STRA, not the register of deeds.
Yes, that is
No,
correct.
no.
Is it registered?
We are registers of deeds.
You're not a registrar?
No, a lot of people call it that, but we are
Oh,
registered.
it's a register.
No, I thought according to the English language,
wasn't-
you would be the
it wasn't a typo.
I was
STRA
the
registrar.
register of deeds.
Kevin, you got the source right there telling
Yeah.
you.
There you go.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
it
thanks for standing
doesn't
by.
coincide with Merriam-Webster, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't come with any.
You know,
No,
because
it
there's a female,
doesn't.
like executor, the female version is executrix for the executor, but that's, a lot of the romantic languages have male and female words, but I thought sure it would be registrar.
Some people do call themselves that.
Okay. But you prefer register?
All right, seeing no further public comment, we will adjourn
I so move we adjourn,
until the call of the chair,
which would probably be next Monday at 8:30.
which probably will be next Monday at 8:30.
Okay. So move.
So moved.
You can have a look.
10:17.
So much fun.
Well, yeah, I know, it's over already, we can't.
You don't want to add to the minutes for that.
Yeah, Carroll's coming. See you, Fred, see you next week. Is it gonna be Monday next week?
8:30.
Yep.
Sorry, you voted on it. Thank you, though, registrar does sound fancy.
Registrar, I know that. Registrar. How you doing, Karen?
So we give her
You got the
room,
minutes.
it's not just the nursing home tweaks, but it's like, by doing this, it's still concentrated in the nursing home, but
Those are the minutes.
it also gives you
Minutes.
a road trip at the same time.
Thank you.
And then we'll just have a bake sale for everything
Yeah.
else.
All right.
Thank you, Ed. Ed didn't yell at us as much today, so we must be doing better.
No,
He's stewing, you see the stage?
He's getting tired.
I'm not tired at all.
Ed, we've got 4 years worth of records you can go through now. We're gonna have more coming. Yeah, they got fun.
No, I just have AI go through it now. Did you get my?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't that
that's
really
right,
cool?
yeah.
Now, what I did with AI is, what I combined what I collect,
Uh-huh.
what you wrote in minutes, and the transcript to get a real complete picture. And then I uploaded like 7 meetings at once.
Yeah.
And then just said, okay, when did or what happened here? And it can go through the entire amount in a split second and figure out and understand
You're
what
fired.
happened.
We're hiring the AI.
Right?
But it's amazing how you put it to query it. Like all those non-public minutes, I can upload them all that and it'll say, when did they talk about Fred King? And it
We
has
always talk
everything in it.
about Fred King.
We talked about Frank